Qur'an, Hadith, and Islam Part 9. The Intricate Facts. Chapter 50 is initialized with the letter Q. If we count the number of Q's in Chapter 50, they are exactly 57 or 19 times 3. The one and only other chapter initialized with Q is Chapter 42. If we count the Q's in Chapter Q, the total is 57 or 19 times 3. We learn from Chapter 50 that Q stands for Qur'an, therefore the number of Q's equals the number of chapters in the Qur'an. It's relevant here to cite the following facts. 1. The word Qur'an is mentioned in the Qur'an 57 times or 19 times 3. 2. Chapter 42 consists of 53 verses, and 42 plus 53 is 95, or 19 times 5. 3. Chapter 50 consists of 45 verses, and 50 plus 45 is also 95, 19 times 5. 4. The number of Q's in all verses numbered 19 throughout the Qur'an is 76, or 19 times 4. Chapter 68 starts with the initial N. The number of letters N in Chapter 68 is 133, or 19 times 7. N being the last initialized chapter brings out a number of interesting observations. 1. The number of verses between the first initial to the last initial is 5,263, or 19 times 277. 2. The word God occurs 2641 times in the initialized section, or 19 times 139. There are 7 chapters initialized with letter H and M, ha, me M. If you add the H's and the M's you'll find 2147, or 19 times 113. Chapter 7, 19, and 38 are initialized with letter S. The number of S's is respectively 97, 26, and 29. The total is 152, or 18 times 8. Chapter 36 is named YS. It is also initialized with the initials Y and S. If you count the number of Y's, you'll find 237, and the number of S is 48. The total is 285, or 19 times 15. Now this one is a bit more sophisticated, so make sure you're awake. Chapter 19, 20, 26, 27, and 28 share the following initials: H, T, S, and M. If you count those letters in their respective chapters and add them up, you'll find a multiple of 19. Next, Chapter 13 starts with the initials A, L, M, and R. If you count the A's you'll find 605, the L's are 480, the M's are 260, and the R's are 137. The total is 1482, or 19 times 78. Chapter 19 has 5 initials: K, H, Y, A, and S. The number of K is 137, the number of H is 175, the number of A is 117, Y's are 343, and the number of S is 26. The total of those initials in Chapter 19 is 19 times 42. There are precisely 6 chapters initialized with the 3 letters A, L, and M. They are Chapter 2, 3, 29, 30, 31, and 32. If you count those letters in each chapter and add them up, the total is a multiple 19. This phenomenon is true in all major versions of Qur'an I could get hold of. Chapters 10, 11, 12, 14, and 15 are initialized with letters A, L, and R. If you count the number of those letters in those chapters, you'll find 9,481, or 19 times 499. Chapter 7 starts with the initials A, L, M, S. Their respective count in the chapter is 2510, 1530, 1164, and 97. The total is 5,301, or 19 times 279. The word Bism in the name should normally be spelled out with 4 letters as in the 19 occurrences of Qur'an. However, the word Bism in the name is written with 3 letters only in 3 numbered verses. The first word bism, 3-letter spelling, is in chapter 1 verse 1. The second word bism, 3-letter spelling, is in chapter 11 verse 40. And the last word bism, 3-letter spelling, is in chapter 27 verse 30. We can then divide the Quran in 3 sections along the 3 verses. Section 1 goes from the first number bism to the second, or from chapter 1 verse 1 to chapter 11 verse 39. Section 2 from chapter 11 verse 40 to chapter 27 verse 29. Section 3 from chapter 27 verse 30 to the end of the Quran. It turns out that the number of verses, including the unnumbered verses, in each section is a multiple of 19. In section 1 the number of verses is 1520, or 19 times 80. In section 2 the number of verses is 1691, or 19 times 89. And in section 3 the number of verses is 3135, or 19 times 165. Chapter 11 starts with the initials A, L and R. If the word bism was spelled with A, the number of initials would no longer be divisible by 19. Write down the number of verses in chapter 1, then next to it write a number per verse for chapter 1. Thus chapter 1 is represented by 7 followed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Chapter 2 is represented by 286, because chapter 2 has 286 verses, followed by 1, 2, 3 etc. up to the last verse of chapter 2, namely 286. Then put the number representing chapter 1 besides the one representing chapter 2. Repeat the same process for all chapters of the Quran. The number representing the whole Quran is a multiple of 19 and consists of 12,692 digits, which is also a multiple of 19. The following number is obtained by writing down every verse number followed by the sum of those verses. For example, chapter 1 consists of 7 verses. The sum of verses is 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7. The sum of verses for chapter 1 is 28. Thus, chapter 1 is represented by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 28. The sum of verse numbers for chapter 2 is 41,041, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 286. Thus, the number representing chapter 2 looks like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 etc., 284, 285, 286, and 41,041. The number representing the last chapter, which consists of 6 verses, looks like this: 123,456, 21, since 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 equals 21. The complete number, representing the whole Quran, consists of 12,836 digits and is a multiple of 19. The number of every verse in every chapter is followed by the sum of verse numbers. The long number consists of 12,836 digits, and is a multiple of 19. To produce the following number you need to first write down the number of numbered verses, 6,234, then the number of verses for each chapter, and at the end of the number, write down the number of numbered verses again. Chapter 1 will be represented by 7, chapter 2 will be represented by 286, thus, the number begins with 6,234, 7, 286 etc. At the end of the number you'll have 6, because the last chapter of Quran contains 6 verses, followed by 6,234. The number of numbered verses followed by the number of verses in every chapter for all chapters, followed by the number of numbered verses is a multiple of 19. Conclusion. The physical evidence presented here proves 1. The divine source of Quran, 2. The perfect integrity and preservation of Quran.
فبشره بمغفرة وأجر كريم.